Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Many people consider Sanjay Leela Bhansali's best work to be his debut film Khamoshi, for it is a screenplay that never gets distracting with the opulence that Bhansali films were synonymous with years later. A heartfelt tale about interpersonal relationships that often goes unnoticed. Bhansali, however, did not have a cordial time on set shooting with Nana Patekar, reflecting on the experience, stating that he doesn't really have fond memories of the same.
I did not enjoy the experience of working with Nana Patekar, to be very obvious, to say it. It was a film that put that whole process of acting with a person. I didn't enjoy the film.
When I hear Dimple Kapadia during the promotions of her movie Tum Milo To Sahi also describing Nana Patekar as a co-actor, I often wonder about the known personality, making me hope and wish I could just be a fly in the wall on a film set to see what he is exactly like when the cameras are not rolling.
I think he's obnoxious.
In a good way?
When I see talent like this, na, to 100 खून माफ है.
Sharmila Tagore. One of the most popular pairs during the early 70s, when Rajesh Khanna had experienced superstardom, was when he shared screen space with Sharmila Tagore. This was a pair that audiences looked forward to seeing on the big screen, with movies like Avishkar, Amar Prem, Aradhana, Daag and several others. One equated the pair to be synonymous with box office success as well. But as the years passed by, one wondered why Sharmila Tagore stopped featuring in roles opposite Rajesh Khanna. In the foreword for The Dark Star, The Loneliness of Being Rajesh Khanna, Tagore wrote, "I went to the studios at 8 am and wanted to be back with my family by 8 pm. But this was impossible since Kaka never arrived before 12 for a 9 am shift, and we could never finish on time." She further wrote, "Probably even Kaka felt it was not such a good idea to have so many films with one actress. One runs the risk of becoming stale. Whatever it was, we found ourselves working together in less and less films, and I must confess, it was a huge relief." Bipasha Basu. The dynamic and atmosphere on the sets of Ajnabi really caused quite the stir in the early 2000s, as rumours were through the roof of the animosity and tension between Kareena Kapoor and Bipasha Basu. In a very candid interview from the first season of Coffee with Karan, Bipasha Basu clearly described what she observed regarding Kareena Kapoor's behaviour towards her on set.
It was only the second schedule that I realized that she does not like me. She stopped talking to me. So it doesn't make my life difficult, because if I know that somebody's very clean with their thoughts, that, that I don't like you and I'm not going to talk to you, it's actually better for me because I hate hypocrites. I'd rather, have a person who's very straight in front of me saying, listen, something's not gelling with us. We'll not talk.
To complete a film when there is a clear understanding of your co-actor hating your guts is professionalism at its peak, honestly. I wonder how one worked through such differences and how a director or producer managed such tempers and egos during the entire making of the film. Aamir Khan. A cult film today but a box office disaster of the 90s was Andaz Apna Apna, a film that had its fair share of problems on set as the co-actor Salman Khan and Aamir Khan did not have the best working relationship, as Aamir presumably would be on time and prepared with his lines, whereas Salman Khan would arrive on set late and not remember his lines. When Aamir was asked about his working relationship with Salman on the project, he said, "If you are asking me about my memory of working with Salman, it was very bad. He used to come late and would never remember his dialogues. After the film, I was like, I can never work with him again." This is something that the two actors can reflect and joke about today, but it's quite shocking that the experience was so bad for Aamir to conclude that he would never work with Salman again.
Most professional actor ever, Aamir Khan. 7 o'clock means 7 o'clock, ready with makeup. And me, I 1:32, फिर आराम से coffee पी के फिर then I come and I start talking my work, which is not good. I am not proud of it.
Krish. The most contentious turn of events in recent times regarding a Hindi film set has to be on what transpired during the making of Manikarnika. A Telugu director, Krish, roped in to direct, production and Kangana especially not being satisfied with the final cut of the film, the director being chucked out of the project, Sonu Sood opting out of the role he was originally portraying, Kangana taking the reins of directing the film, and till today there being huge contention on whose vision we finally saw on the big screen.
June mein she praised everything, and once just before the entire film, and when she wants to take a credit, no, जो आपने किया वो अच्छा नहीं है, I made it better. which is she made it. I can say no. She reduced the value of the film.
Whenever Krish is asked about his experience working on the film, you can still see the heartbreak and pain he underwent, being stripped away from what was essentially his baby. Shahid Kapoor. A guilty pleasure of mine from the mid-2000s is the Shahid Kapoor, Kareena Kapoor and Fardeen Khan starrer Fida, a movie that I still revisit less for the plot and more for the music. The rumor mills during the shooting of this film would make you believe that the actors, especially the two male stars, barely got along with one another. Fardeen, while in a print interview, had stated that Shahid has an attitude problem and that Fida in general was a sticky subject. Shahid clarified on the first season of Coffee with Karan that he did not feel there was any animosity in the dynamic.
Whatever it was from his side. I have no issues with him.
So you feel there was something from his side?
I'm sure there was. He's spoken about it in quite a few places. So I'm sure there was something. And as far as I'm concerned, I had no issues working with him. It was a professional relationship. I went on my sets. I did my job. I came back home. I went to sleep. Went on my sets again the next day. If he felt that I was rude to him, then I really don't know where that came from.
Do you also notice that all of these candid confessions all arise from the first season of the talk show? Oh, the days when celebrities could be brutally honest. Radhika Apte. Radhika Apte has featured in 4 Telugu films, the franchise of Rakt Charitra and 2 films opposite Balaya. We have spoken about Radhika's experience working in the Telugu film industry not being so pleasant, and while this is exclusive to her personal experience and not entirely reflective of an industry, it was shocking to listen to when Radhika spoke about an actor who holds great power in the Telugu film industry and her experience of being tickled by the man while having no personal rapport or connection with him prior to the said horrifying event.
I don't even know him. I start tickling my feet.
What?
And he was a big actor, and I was told that he is powerful. But who I am, I got up and I snapped at him. I just looked at him and I said, "Don't ever do that to me." And I was so angry, and I said, ever. I emphasized ever. And he looked at me and he said, He did expect that, but he never touched me after that.
These are horrid experiences that can really burn professional bridges for actors. Mahesh Bhatt. Quite the shocking revelation for me was that Mahesh Bhatt and Aamir Khan had a strenuous working relationship. Having worked in Gulam and the notion of Aamir Khan wanting every department to be perfect in his films, presumably over-exceeding his portfolio by butting into parameters that should not concern him, this trait particularly perturbed producer Mahesh Bhatt.
वो इतना प्लेजेंट एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था हमारे लिए क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा कि जब आदमी अपनी महानता से बहुत अपनी ग्रेटनेस का बोझ उठाता है तो वो बोझ वो नहीं उठाता बाकी उठाते हैं लोग.
I wonder how the makers might not realize Aamir's attention to detail probably benefited their projects versus causing them to fail. Ranbir Kapoor. If you asked anyone personally of what is certain about collaborations never happening, one would say that Ranbir and Sanjay Leela Bhansali are 2 worlds that would never collide again. This is because while Ranbir considers Sanjay Leela Bhansali to be his mentor, he also references the grilling working conditions he experienced with him.
I come from a sheltered background. I've never been abused or shouted at. And yep, he was abusing me, he was hitting me, he was making me clean the floors, and so I think that experience really grounded me.
While this relationship presumably has been mended as Ranbir is starring in Bhansali's upcoming project Love and War, it was quite shocking to hear when Ranbir described some of the experiences he had while working as an actor on his set. The curious case of Padmavat. Speaking about the sets of Sanjay Leela Bhansali, no one will ever know what exactly transpired among the cast of this film. How Shahid Kapoor felt shortchanged by the dynamic, a working relationship that was already set with Bhansali having worked with Ranbir and Deepika on 2 films previously. But of the innumerable interviews you see of Shahid whenever he does reflect on Padmavat, there is always a void within him, either on what transpired during the making of the film or what was essentially his screen time on the final edit.
I'm sure everybody felt a bit threatened by each other at some level. It's natural. I wouldn't say that it was a smooth ride and, we were all throwing love at each other. But looking back, I feel it's an amazing film in my filmography, and I feel like it's great that I did it, and yeah, it's all good.
Irrespective, what's crystal clear is that everything was definitely not hunky-dory on the sets of Padmavat.